The mayor of Bayswater, he had such a lovely daughter, and the hairs on her dicky dido hung down to her knees. Good evening, my loves, and how the devil are you? And a very warm welcome indeed to this Thursday. Gosh, so where's the week gone? Thursday night live with me, Boaty, coming live into your eyes and ears directly from Windy Bottom, here in the Howling Peak District. And it is nothing less than an unutterably orgasmic joy to be spending the next 58 minutes with you talking about stuff. How are you, darlings? How has your day been? Thank you for being here with me. It's an enormous joy, as always. I hope you've had a wonderful day, stuffed full with extra plumptiousness, and I can't wait to hear all about it. Now then, let's dive straight into the old comments, shall we? Let's see who's here and who isn't. Anybody who isn't here, just let me know in the comments, please, so that I know that you're not here, and then I won't make any mistakes. But Barry is here, and we, of course, know Barry as that guy from SETI Alpha 5. He is a channel member, and he's an all-around splendid chap. He is the sort of fellow who I fondly imagine would look rather good in a hat. And not everybody does, you know. Hello all. Here's one for you all. What are your favourite films? I'll say Heat, Wrath of Khan, Where Eagles Dare, and From Russia with Love. They're all up there for me. I can answer that very easily. My favourite films are, well, obviously, you lot must all answer as well. But I'll get you started with mine. Setting and Rendezvous, Claude Lelouch, La Course en Tête, A Sunday in Hell, and that's it. Sophie is here. Hi everyone, good evening. How are we all, and how's your day been, and what have you all been up to? And most of all, how are you, Boaty, and how's your day been, and are you okay? I am, Sophie. I'm absolutely grand. Thank you for asking. And I've had a really rather pleasant day. It's been productive. It's been pleasant. The weather hasn't been uniformly dreadful. There were some periods where it was quite nice. I took Dick a Dum. I had to. Oh dear God. The slight downside to the day was that the vengeful gods of the overdraft decided to reach down from up high, grab hold of my wedding vegetables and squeeze them. So yeah, I had the text of doom from my bank. Dear Boaty, you useless bastard, you're skint again. Come on, do you want us to bounce your car insurance, or are you going to pay some money? And so I had to scrape together some funds, trot off to the post office in Dick-a-Dum-Dum, and I had to appease the vengeful gods of the overdraft with an offering of a financial nature. I mean, you know, it would be easier if I could just slaughter a goat or something, but no, they're buggers are the gods of the overdraft. They want cold, hard cash and nothing else. Other than that, it's been great, as it has for Barry, who has had a good and productive day. That's excellent. And Sophie has been good as well. That's all nice. Pingu Concord is with us and says, howdy, partner. Howdy to you, sir. The Greenwood, the lovely Tracy. Gosh, it's rare that she's with us of a Thursday. And she says, evening all. It's a rare one that I'm here on a Thursday. And basically, she's just copying me there. I mean, you know, be original, Trace. Come up with your own line, darling. John Stoodley is here and says, good evening, Mr. Boaty, and hello, chap. Good evening to you. Fiesta Man 1990, evening all. Hope everyone had a good day. That's very kind of you. Thank you for joining us. Cars with JC, who we know and love as Joe, Oh, he doesn't like us using his surname. I need to give him another surname, and not a taking the Michael pretend one like before. Let's give Joe a nice surname. Joe de Courcy Crichton Paget. There you go. Joe de Courcy Crichton Paget is with us and says, "Evening all. Are we ready for a Thursday night live?" And also, he hopes everyone is well and had a good day. There's a lot of love floating about, isn't there? Oh, that's quite pleasant. I'm rather enjoying that. One black one white one with a little bit of shite on, and the hairs on the dicky dido hung down to her knees. Splendid. Barry says it looks like we're about to do a random and un-PC live. This I like. That's all of them, isn't it? Sophie is all good, Joe. Already packed. We'll be at Neil's for 9 o'clock on Saturday. 0900 hours. Gosh. Hi to everyone, says Skick. Good old Skick is with us. That's a joy. Pingu says Boaty's World Calendar's available for Christmas. God. Should I get all Hubnut on your ass and start trying to flog you a strange melange and myriad of merch? I could do. I could do a naked calendar. I could be that person. 1 foot January, 1 foot February. March could be tricky. Oh dear. Now, being a Thursday, of course, that means it is, of course, Mad Live Stream Night, Mad Thursday, which means that you guys can talk about anything you want or throw any subject at me that you care to, and we will discuss the stained arse out of it. Oh, yes, we certainly will. Now, I did mention last night that we could chat about Derek and Clive. So if anybody would like to throw their favourite Derek and Clive moments into the mix, I'm quite happy to pick those up, stroke it by the hairy nutsack and run with it. Where did I get to? Oh, Cheeseburger's here. Evening all. Excellent. Diddly-do. Oh, God help us. Joe is leaving Bude at 4:30 a.m. on Saturday and should arrive at Neil. God, sorry, I've just read the next comment. And should arrive at Neil's at the same time as Sophie. So 9 o'clock Saturday, it's all happening. Trace says, cheers all, up the bum and no babies. That's the spirit. Oh, you can't beat a few laps around the chocolate speedway, can you? Neil says, a.k.a. the Gibbinator, of course. Hello. Hope we're all well. Cheeseburger is asking Pingu, how many pictures of a case series can you put in the calendar? Steve Culg is with us. Skick says, look at them flowers. I know, Skick, they're a disgrace, aren't they? I mean, they've been dead for days. They've got mold on them just down there, and I've done nothing about it. I mean, what I should do is at least throw them out and wash the vase. And ideally, they should be replaced with some fresh flowers. And I haven't got round to it. Partly because I'm all jet setty and urbane and I have such a busy life, but mostly because I can't afford any new ones. I did have to go and appease the vengeful gods of the overdraft today, which has rather cut into my ability to spend that money on anything else. Oh, it's a terrible thing to be poor. Where I do? Me and my friend, says Joe, are saving another Rover 25 from going to the scrapyard tomorrow due to a head gasket failure. It is a 2003 1.6 Stepspeed with only 26,000 miles. That's a jolly low mileage, isn't it? That's a good idea, actually, Pingu. Boaty's cars at Boaty's favourite local locations, maybe. Actually, I quite like that idea. Actually, I really like that idea. I'll do that. Thank you, Pingu. I will do that. And I will go full hub nut on your asses. then you'll be sorry. I'll even try and do it in his voice. I'll put a fake beard on and mumble. Merch, 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 hubnut.org, merch, merch, money, money. Oh, dear. Good for you, Joe. Good for you and your friend. My favourite film, says Tracer, With Nail and I and Baghdad Cafe. Cheeseburger says, Skick, if he gave the flowers as much liquid as he pours down his neck, they would look better. Yeah, fortunately I had wine in stock. And Trace says, and I love the Moulin Rouge film. Favourite, oh God, Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger's favourite film is Debbie Does Dallas. Oh, this is a treat. Mark is here. Mark on Motoring, of course. And if you have not checked out Mark on Motoring's YouTube channel, then you have missed some videos that are incredibly well researched, beautifully presented, and exceptionally well produced. So I would advise you not to miss out any longer and go and jolly well have a look. Have a look at one of his videos. And if you like it, click that like button and subscribe to his channel. And he's a jolly nice chap. I've actually met him in the flesh. And he's lovely. Diddly do. Oh, right, jolly good. Well done, Joe. Rob's buying it as it was originally his car before mine. But going tomorrow with him and going to film it for a video. Gosh, so you've both owned that car, Joe. Very good. Very good. Steve Cole watched Ghost Dog last night and it was okay. Bad Books is here. Good evening, all. Diddly do. Oh, bless you, Neil. You're such a nice guy. Steve Holg says, Neil, thanks for the membership. Oh, right. Yes. Steve Holg is now a channel member. You're all channel members. Well, most of you are channel members. It's lovely. Your names are just a sea of green. It's like looking into our Rover 45 press release car. Green everywhere. Oh, dear. Right. Okay. Well, hubby news. Cheeseburger says, the hubbies have all come down with an unidentified plague. Germ warfare is working. Yeah, but part two of that, it's all very well striking them down with an unidentified plague, but that doesn't help us. We need to sort phase two of the operation, where we get all of hubby's subscribers to come here instead. You know, offer them jelly and ice cream or sweets or something, and suck them in, and we'll all pretend to be normal and nice and welcoming, and we won't let them know what we're really like until about the third video, and by then it'll be too late. We'll have got them by the doings. God, I'd love to have Hubnut subscribers. Dear me. How many is it now? 108,000? Or to put it another way, 107,943 more than me. Oh, dear. It's not even, is it? No, I don't want to say anything bad about it. I'm sure I would actually like to meet Ian because, you know, you never know what somebody. Well, actually, I think I do. No, don't go down that road, Boaty. You will say something that you will regret. He's probably a fantastic human being. Diddly-do. Right, okay, jolly good. Skick says, the cinema's gone bust near me, and Wilco closed today. Oh, ours closed yesterday. Shame, innit? And the town centre is dead, what's left of it. What's the reason, do you think? Oh, well, that's quite a good question, Skick. Why are town centres dead? I suppose the rise of the retail park, draconian parking measures, the rise of mail order and the internet, and a failure on the part of the those overseeing the infrastructure to repurpose town centres. I mean, you know, we've got a housing crisis in the UK. So if town centres are dying on their arse in terms of business, then don't open 64 million new charity shops. Repurpose the buildings as dwellings, as houses, and get some people who need houses into the houses. But it's an interesting point. That Cheeseburger says, I watched some Derek and Clive today. Didn't work for me. Oh. I did add Savage to yesterday's live. Hope that was okay. Yeah, Savage was fantastic. I named yesterday's live in your honour, Cheeseburger. Oh, and do remember that it is your bounden and sacred duty to suggest names for tonight's live stream. So don't forget, get them in. One of you will, well, I mean, you won't be the lucky winner. You'll be the idiot who gave me a really good title that helps my channel, and you get sod all for it. But you would get my gratitude, and that's something, isn't it? Not much, but it is something. Yeah, Derek and Clive, it's a bit marmitey, isn't it? Not for everybody. John Stoodley says, hey, Boaty, what does the door plaque mean behind you? You mean the Rue de Mirande? It's just the name of a French road where I used to live. And when I left, I nicked the street sign and drilled some holes in it. It's literally just, it has no meaning. It's just a French street sign from Normandy. And I nicked it. Oh, bless you. People offering to buy me flowers. That's really sweet. Barry says, Monty Python for me. Teddy Jones was my fave. Well, I mean, I'm all about the Monty Python. So if you want to throw your favourite Monty Pythons at me, you go for it. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. What's my favourite Monty Python sketch? Oh, that would be a really difficult one, wouldn't it? That would be, I mean, there are so many. I absolutely love Monty Python. Absolutely love them. I cut down trees, I wear high heels, suspenders, and a bra. I wish I'd been a girlie, just like my dear papa. And of course, it was while filming Monty Python's Flying Circus that John Cleese, or to give him his real name, John Cheese, and Connie Booth got the idea for Fawlty Towers when they were staying at the Gleneagles Hotel in Torquay. Oh, hello, Goat, says Mustard. Mustard's here, Project Nigel. And I must say that you might not have seen it, but the Project Nigel YouTube channel is actually worth a watch. In fact, it's rather good. So if you've never watched one of the Project Nigel videos, give one a go. You might well enjoy it. And if you see a card on it that you think, wow, that is a fantastic card, I would like to buy that, well, go ahead and buy it. Oh dear. Oh, a title from Trace. Mr. Boaty, dead for days. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Bad Book says Derek and Clive lubed toilet roll wired into the train set. Oh, Mustard is just uploading some shirty video. Oh, interesting, a shirty video. What, you showing off your shirts? I'd like to see you in a nice shirt, Mustard. I'm used to seeing you in dodgy T-shirts that, quite frankly, have seen better days. I would like to see you in a full Jeremy Clarkson type shirt. Oh, now then, do we think that Captain Mustard would suit a button-down collar? Actually, here's a really good feature. This is what makes live streams magic. The incredible features. Okay, feature number 7. What shirt would you like to see Captain Mustard in? I will go for... Actually, you know what would really suit Mustard? I would like to see Mustard in a sort of 1970s Dukes of Hazzard cowboy shirt with tassels hanging down and all of that sort of thing, in a sort of cream colour. And I'd like him to be wearing cowboy boots as well. Mustard would look really good, actually, done up as though in, cowboy boots, blue jeans, and one of those, tassely cream shirt. Oh, I'd love to see that. Right. Cheeseburger says, Skick, it's retail tenants unwilling to pay the rent for shops. They don't need to anymore. Those with disposable income shop online. Yeah, well, there's some truth in that. She only did about 10 people, says Steve. That's a bit of a non sequitur. Cheeseburger says, hubby has a City Rover Speedo binnacle for sale. We could build it one piece at a time. I searched for a City Rover tonight. I had 5 minutes downtime at work and I searched both Facebook Marketplace and eBay for a City Rover. And there was one on Marketplace and one on eBay. And it was the same one and it's the wrong colour and the wrong spec. I think it's a Solo and I wouldn't want a Solo. I'd want the posh one with air conditioning and Ford electric windows. Excuse me? Do you mind? Thank you. My freezer is complaining because it is now overloaded with Momo goodness. And somebody said on Mustard's live stream that they're asking when I was going to start selling Momos so they could try them and finally find out if they like them. So clearly I'm not doing the Momo marketing sufficiently well. Somebody suggested I should set up a Facebook page and shop. So just a little reminder, I do sell Momo and Momo chutney. I can supply any amount that you care to name. They will come frozen. The only problem is, obviously, being a frozen foodstuff, I can't post them. So you would need to collect them either from here, where I live, or the Yard of Dreams, where I live on a Monday. But yeah, Momo, always available. And jolly good they are too. The only clothes shop we have now is Primark, says Skick. Cheeseburger's asking where he lives. Bad Books has been at the King's Lynn Comedy Club tonight. Not been since before lockdown, and it was a great night. Skick lives in Wigan. We do have a lot of pie shops left, though. What's that thing? I saw it on Facebook. A Wigan something or other, and it's a pie in a bread roll served with mushy peas and gravy. I mean, what nature of thing is that? But at the same time, I kind of want to try one. What's it called? A Wigan Bap or Barm or something? Skick will know, obviously. He lives there. Pingu says, Mustard the Muff Magnet, calendar and magnet. No, that would do. A title from Trace. We'll all pretend to be normal and by then it'll be too late. That'll do. Simone is here and says, how do? Well, more to the point, Simone, how are you? You were in some pain this afternoon with your bursitis and you retired hurt. I hope you're feeling better now, perhaps. Do let us know because we all care about you, Simone, and we're all here for you. And you mustn't feel, none of you should feel that you're burdening us by sharing your trials and tribulations. That's what it's all about. That's what our community is all about. We are a loving, caring community. If you've got a problem, you should feel able to talk to us about it, and we'll ignore you. On that subject, a little Joe update. He's still with us, and he's still battling away. Still not quite getting the pain control that he needs, but he's hoping that he's hoping that the pain will be managed, and he's hoping to regain a bit of mobility. He did gain some mobility in hospital when the pain was being properly managed, and he's lost it again since being at home. But he's hoping for a little upward blip before, before the inevitable. So fingers crossed for him, and much love to him. Cheeseburger says, Skick, I haven't been to Wigan in years. I went to Springfield Park, the old football ground. Cheeseburger says, hubby isn't a fantastic human being. He's a very naughty boy. Wouldn't it be wonderful if he was a really naughty boy? If there was some newspaper expose that revealed a hit. No, that wouldn't be wonderful. Why am I saying this? I don't know. All of the lovely YouTubers who are all nice and lovely on their videos. I know I'm an evil, twisted so-and-so, but it would be kind of amusing and entertaining if they all got stung by various media organizations and they revealed a seedy, hidden life that they all had. I mean, that would hold no fear for me, because my seedy, disgraceful life isn't hidden at all. It's what I base my channel on. So they wouldn't dig as deep as you like. They wouldn't find any dirt on me that I haven't already told you about. And believe me, they have tried. I've told you this many times before, but to qualify my tongue-in-cheek comments, I am speaking as somebody who was investigated by the Sun. That's true. That's absolutely true. God, I was investigated by Rupert Murdoch, who has retired today at the grand old age of 92. So there we are. I guess all that phone hacking is going to take its toll on an OAP, isn't it? Did I tell you, said Steve. Did I tell you the one where Hupnut dies in 2057 trying to take over an 18-wheeler on a mobility scooter in France? Oh, dear. Sophie says, I heard the B&M are taking them over, Boaty, and I think she's talking about the Wilko stores. And B&M are taking over a percentage of the Wilko stores, but not them all. What's more interesting was that it was rumoured, whether it's true or not now, I don't know, but I heard the rumour, and then I stopped listening to the news, was that the range were buying the Wilko brand name for 5 million quid. Anybody know if that actually happened, or if it was an unsubstantiated rumour? Oh, and I'll tell you what we ought to talk about, the old hot topic, electric cars, and the government's U-turn on their 2030 thing, because there's, oh God, a lot of people, they just read headlines and that's it. And that's why the general public is so easy to manipulate. And everybody thinks, oh, great, right, a U-turn. The petrol and diesel cars aren't going to be banned until 2035 now, not 2030. And that is completely true. But of course, they haven't read the small print. And part of the deal of the deadline being put back is a very clever series of quotas coming in. And they're not just coming in from 2030, they're coming in from 2024. They're coming in from next year. So everybody's banging on about, oh yes, U-turn, electric cars, not until 2035 now. Don't believe it. Don't believe it, guys. This is very, very clever. They have engineered, the powers that be, have now engineered a situation through quotas and various other legislations that are all in small print that nobody sees, meaning that combustion engine vehicles are going to be priced out of the majority of people's reach now before 2030. And electric vehicles are going to become cheaper by comparison. Effectively, manufacturers are going to be effectively forced into selling them at a loss in the interim. And there's going to be a substantial effort into creating a flourishing second-hand market. So it's really clever the way that Sunak has done it. I don't imagine it's his own hand. No doubt it will be a team of civil servants behind this. But yeah, they've got a headline out there that that the electric car ban is being pushed back to 2035. That's a headline that is designed to win the Conservative Party votes at the polls at the next general election, which they are destined to lose fairly heavily at the moment, certainly if the polls are to be believed. So that's the purpose of the headline. But of course, the government has a net zero target. And very cleverly, they've engineered a situation where the demise of the petrol and diesel car will actually come about sooner now rather than later. Nobody knows it, though. Nobody knows it. They all just see the headline and think, boom. So a very, very clever job from the government there. And I was very impressed with that. Oh gosh, right. Marco Motoring says, I've met Ian Seabrook a few times, Boaty. As you suspected, he's a nice guy. It must be challenging for people like Ian and Matt Richardson with so many fans wanting to talk with them at events. Yeah, I imagine it is. I imagine it is. Not yet. No, oh, Simone's not feeling better yet. Only started her meds today. Well, you know, hopefully they will kick in soon, Simone, and you'll get a bit of relief. It's chronic pain is no fun. Ah, interesting. Fiestaman 1990 says, I found out about your channel through Joseph Lloyd's channel. Thoroughly enjoying the content. Keep up the good work, Boaty. Well, that's exceedingly kind of you, Fiestaman 1990. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. And yeah, nice that people are finding me via Joseph. Now, obviously, I bought the good Mr. Lloyd's Rover 45 V6, but we've become really good. God, I enjoy the man's company. And he's a very knowledgeable chap, and he's very good company indeed, and really very charming and amusing. Yeah, I enjoyed catching up with him on Sunday, and I look forward to a more in-depth catch-up next month, when he's coming up to spend some time where he's not going to be quite so tied down with work and business stuff. And we should have a bit more time to hang out, and no doubt he'll come and play with a few of my cars and whatnot. And perhaps I'll even play with whichever one he's bringing up. I think he said he's bringing up the Sanyong next month, and that would actually be quite interesting. Cheeseburger says, Sophie, B&M are taking some. The range are buying the name. Oh, well, there we are. That's answered my question. A title from Cheeseburger. Barton Skick live in Springfield. Oh, that's quite clever, actually. Wigan is the home of Wayne of... What? Oh, this is from Bad Books. Wigan is the home of Wayne of Mazda Mender, the best MX-5 mechanic in the country. Oh, gosh. Simone can buy me some self-raising flour. That's very kind. Oh, the Black Knight is my favourite Monty Python bit. Oh, God, yeah. Well, I mean, if we're going into Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I mean, there are some genius bits in there, aren't there? One more time, unclog my nose in your direction, filthy English crickets. Dear. Oh, the Ministry of Silly Walks for Barry. Yeah, that's a classic. Oh, Dead for Days, The Flowers. Thank you, Trace. I get it now. I missed Mustard's live today, says Cheeseburger. I had some work to do. Well, you missed an absolute treat. Mustard has taken live streaming onto the next level. Well, maybe Mustard and I kind of did it together because I'd done something similar before. I did that 24-hour live stream where I just went to bed and left you for 8 hours. Mustard did something similar today. He was live streaming from the caravan of broken hedgehogs and lost keys, and decided to just go off, make tea, and leave the live stream running. Thought he'd come back to nobody there, and there were still people there. Not me. I buggered off. I thought, I'm not having this. He's taking us for fools. I'm not standing for this. I'm not willing to sit and watch an empty screen. If he's going to live stream, damn well do it properly. Put the effort in. Don't just sod off and make tea. I did go back just to see how many people did stay. And annoyingly, and this really is annoying, I'm not making this up, right? More people watched Mustard's live stream where he wasn't there. There's just an empty screen in a caravan. More people watch that bit of his live stream than watch my whole live streams when I am here making an effort. Oh, God, honestly. She lived in a lighthouse. It was more like a fucking shite house, and the hairs on a dicky dido hung down to her knees. She married an Italian with balls like a fucking stallion, and the hairs on a dicky dido hung down to her knees. Oh, God, I'm dribbling everywhere. Dinsdale. Mustard would suit a grandad collar shirt with a waistcoat, says Trace. Steve thinks a dog bounty hunter shirt. Oh, I could see that. I've got something for Paul that is Dukes of Hazzard related, says Neil. I look forward to seeing that. And Trace just clarifies grandad collar equals no collar. Yeah, I had one back in the day. There was a time when I was a youth where the height of fashion was a donkey jacket, Doc Martin boots, fingerless gloves, a grandad shirt, or a weird jumper that looked like it had a shirt inside it, and it didn't really. It just had a bit of shirt in that bit there. And I think that was replaced with proper shirts and really thin leather ties. I think that was a Madness thing. And I think the two kind of combined because you were supposed to have Madness badges on your donkey jacket. Why would a donkey jacket be fashionable, for God's sake? But it was. And Farah trousers from the Farah stall on Redditch Market. Oh, God, my lost youth. Mustard with a button-down collar, says Cheeseburger. With the picture, with the pictures he sends you, he needs button-up flies. Oh, Pingu's off. Buttocks, ta-ta for now. Reese City Rover says, Simone, beggars can't be choosers. Bad Book says, classic film would be Romance with a Trombone with John Cleese and Connie Booth. Bit racy. Connie being a fine figure of a woman. She turned, well, no argument there. Connie Booth was definitely a fine figure of a woman. Oh, splendid. Absolutely marvellous. I would prefer Vanessa Paradis, though, but only when she hit about 39. Cheeseburger says, Simone, even hubby was turning his nose up at a City Rover. Well, he didn't turn his nose up at it, did he? He bought it until it was kind of a bit rotten. I mean, bless him. I mean, he tried. He spent money on it. He bought loads of spare parts. I knew somebody was going to do the rusty trombone reference, and it was a fair bet it was going to be Cheeseburger. I was in Wigan last week, said Neil. I had a smack barn for my lunch. Is that a smack barn? Is that the pie in the bread roll thing? Oh, Skick says it's a Wigan kebab, pie on a barn. There we are. Oh, prayers for Joe. Thank you, Cheeseburger. Yeah, indeed. Oh, by the way, says Skick, I got a cheeseburger and a hot chocolate from McDonald's. £2.79. Can't beat that. Cheeseburgers are cheap, says Cheeseburger. And Trey says so speaks a cheeseburger. Simone says there's not enough infrastructure for Lecky cars. The infrastructure could do with improving, but it is getting there. I had a look on that app that Steve had with the Jaguar, and it looked fine to me. Is it exactly the same infrastructure as fuel stations? No. Does it need to be? No. We just need to, we just need to plan a bit more. We're lucky. If you go back to when petrol cars started, do you think there was a petrol car on every corner? A petrol station or a fuel station, petrol, diesel, whatever? Of course there wasn't. So you had to plan things. Nowadays, they're everywhere, but that wasn't always the case. And that's what it is with electric. We're just on, we're on an infrastructure slope, and you've just got to make the effort. People make them work okay, and they're better for the environment, and they're better to drive. So there you go. And whether we like it or not, we're going to be forced into them. I'll have an electric, says Cheeseburger, when it has a real world range of 400 miles. Fair enough. We'll probably get there. We love Ian, says Steve. We're only joking. It is anything goes Thursday. Good point. Cheeseburger, I am not reading that out. I am not. You can't say that. I'm not. Cheeseburger. For God's sake, boy, have a word with yourself. Oh, God. I can't read that out, but I presume you've all read it. Cheeseburger. Go and sit in the corner. Oh, dear me. Joseph was due to drive TC, but it hasn't happened. I'm sure it will. I haven't got a beige leather interior, Cheeseburger. I've got, what have I got in the way of leather? Shison is black leather. Dick Dum Dum is black leather. What cars have we got? Oh, Miss Boo is black leather. They're all black leather. I haven't got, all of my leather interiors are all black. Brian is black leather. Barney is half black leather. Stigbürt is half blue leather. I mean, I say leather. I mean, we all know it's bloody plastic, don't we? But no beige. And I don't mind a beige leather interior, to be fair. I probably prefer black, which is probably why I've got all black. But I don't object to a beige leather interior at all. Bad Book says the EU have already done the same thing, re 2035, and the internal combustion engine ban / small print shenanigans. Is Sunak just copying? Possibly, Bad Books. I'm not. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not aware of the ins and outs of what the EU have done. I am aware of the British legislation, but you have to admire it, don't you? You really do have to admire it. I mean, whether we like it or not, we need to get away from fossil fuels, and we need to get away from sadly, we need to get away from the internal combustion engine. Not entirely. I'm sure it will continue in some way, shape or form, but moving forward, we need to mitigate all sorts of damage. And I'm not one of those that believe that it justifies not doing one thing because you say, well, there are other things that are bad as well. You know, you've got to start somewhere and you have to address all of the things. And are electric cars the ultimate future? I don't think they are. But they are the most viable alternative at the moment. So they will be a stepping stone on the way to whatever the future is going to be. And, you know, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. And I suppose if we thought about it, the vast majority of cars are driven as tools. Now, some are driven by tools, but the vast majority are driven as tools. And to those people, the fact that they're driving an electric car will probably make little or no difference. I hope that petrol and diesel engine cars live on in terms of the cars that already exist. We're just not going to produce any more of them. It doesn't mean that those that have already been produced can't live on and be enjoyed, but they will be enjoyed by people like us, you know, enthusiasts. And, you know, that's grand. That's okay. Mark say, oh, Simone needs to go and lie down now. Good night. Good night, Simone. Thank you for joining us. Mark says, Joseph Lloyd is a fascinating guy. He is. I had a catch up with him a few weekends ago when I was down his way for an event. Trey says, we are the knights who go, ni. The knights of ni. We are now no longer the knights who say ni. We are now the knights who say, eki, 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 fatang. How can I play a knight who until recently said ni? We want a shrubbery. Oh, and that then came one of the best lines ever. I am a shrubber. My name is Roger the Shrubber. Oh, dear. Fiestaman 1990 said, yes, he's a very nice chap. Joseph reviewed my daily driver. His encyclopedic knowledge of cars is impressive. It certainly is. He's, as I said, I can barely remember coming across anybody with such a wealth and breadth of knowledge. Bad Book says Joseph Lloyd is a top chap. He has reviewed both of my cars and they scared the living daylights out of him. Oh, interesting. Height of fashion, Cheeseburger. Did you work on the bins? Bugger off, Cheeseburger. You and I are not far off in age. I bet you had one. And if you didn't, you weren't one of the cool kids, were you? What did Connie Booth see in the multimillionaire John Cleese? Good question, Cheeseburger. Good question. No, that's a bit unfair. I mean, when they got together, he probably wasn't a multimillionaire, was he? Oh, I mean, you know, what, John Cleese, why would you not? He's a lovely chap. Tall, handsome, amusing, intelligent. And bear in mind that Connie Booth was both a performer and an aspiring writer. So I'm sure that Cleese appealed on on many levels. And Bad Book says, film Romance with the Trombone has Connie in the nude and Cleese just for balance. I'm sure I remember seeing that once way back in the day, long time ago. I think it was a video that my father rented from Lodge Park, the video shop in Lodge Park in Redditch, just seeing Cleese and Connie Booth and not realizing what sort of film it was, and then getting hideously embarrassed when we were watching it together. Oh, was there anything more embarrassing than that? You know, being, you know, this is in the old days before we all had devices and televisions in our own rooms and all of that nonsense. So you're sitting in the living room with your parents watching a film, and a saucy bit comes on, and the tension is palpable. Stigbürt had a Rover Metro 1.4 GSI in racing green, and it was a good car. It was an R-Reg. I'd love one of those now, but not in green. Skick says, I don't want any more relationships. Oh, you've got enough already, have you? I do have women as friends, but not as much interest but not as much interest in Auntie Annie as I used to have, to be honest. Well, that's an age thing, isn't it, Skick? You know. I understand that as we get a little bit older, the old libido can subside somewhat. Bad Book says, I heard public electric car hookups have full rate VAT, unlike home electric. He can't buy right, Cheeseburger, this is wrong on many levels. Skick, you won't be buying the MGTF then because he's not interested in Auntie Annie. He didn't say Auntie Annie or Jack and Danny. He said the F word. And right, first of all, he can't buy Fanny the car because she's not for sale anymore. She's owned by the lovely Rob Hedgehog, who I hope is enjoying her and will continue to do so in the long term. And she wasn't an MGTF. She was an MGF freestyle, just a late registered one. And yes, you are naughty, and yes, you should stop. Steakhawk says, let me change my comment from I had a Rover Metro to I was blessed with a Rover Metro. That's how good it was. There we are. Cheeseburger says, all major manufacturers are ceasing production of the internal combustion engine. Mine is due a change next year, and I reckon that will be my last ICE internal combustion engine. Well, I alluded to this before. When people talked about the possibility of a U-turn, I said it would make no difference anyway, because all of the manufacturers are already committed to phasing them out. So this doesn't, this U-turn doesn't surprise me in the least because, it's clever. It's politically clever. It's a vote-grabbing exercise. They realise that they're safe enough to put the to move the goalposts of the outright ban because they know damn well that at this point manufacturers have already gone so far down the line of the 2030 and being in advance of that it would make no difference anyway. And then in the small print, they've just done all of the clever stuff to make sure that the transition happens really quite quickly. It's clever. It is clever. I didn't have a donkey jacket, says Cheeseburger. I froze to death instead. Stephen S. Paul is in our midst and says, hello, English people. Hello to you. Time I said good night, says Mark. A giggle as always, Boaty, on the most entertaining live stream in the land. That's exceedingly kind of you, sir. Thank you very much. Ross is here, Dinosaur Dad. Oh, and good night, Mark. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate it. Ross is here, Dinosaur Dad, and says, hey all. I want to watch this. Ross says, Mark, I just watched the French campers video. Another fantastic one as usual. I've seen that. Well, I've seen the thumbnail and whatnot, and I thought I must watch that. And I haven't had a chance yet, but I will watch it tonight. Mustard's back and says, hello, flowers. Cheeseburger says the flowers are dead, Mustard. Then they're not dead, they're just resting. Okay? They're tired and shagged out after a long squawk. Hello, Mustard, says Otter MG. Did you get that lock changed okay? Oh, God, the key. Oh, God. Mate, what are you doing? Oh, once, twice, but 3 times? Oh, God, you poor chap. I'm kind of annoyed with you and feel terribly sorry for you at the same time. You need to devise some sort of thing whereby you don't lose them. I don't know. Get Mrs. Mustard. Well, here, right. Get Mrs. Mustard to put them on a piece of string and then to put the string through your shirt, whatever shirt you end up wearing, like your mother used to do when you were a kid. That's what you need. Right. Feature number 27. Come up with ideas so that when Mustard gets his new keys for his new locks for the fourth time, come up with ideas that would make Mustard's keys unlosable. I know that's not a word, but I'm going to go with it anyway. So best up, my idea is to put them on a piece of string and put them up the sleeve, round the back, round there, and then just tack the string in or something so that they're always just there. I mean, he'd have to wear long sleeves, but, you know, that's a sacrifice I'm sure he'll be willing to make. Or, well, no, over to you on that one. Or what about how about this as a solution? A simple carabiner. Put the keys on a carabiner and force yourself to get into the habit of whenever you've deployed the keys, then just boom, on it goes onto your belt loop, or put it on this one, and then you can put the keys in your pocket there, and then they can't fall through a hole, and they're always just there. And when you unclip them and deploy the keys, then you just make it force a habit, back on the belt loop, off, use, deploy, belt loop. How about that? Oh, mind you. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. You don't wear trousers that have a belt loop, do you? You wear, well, okay, let's address the elephant in the room. I've got to go in a few minutes because it's that time. But before I go, let's address the elephant in the room. Captain Mustard, my best friend, a man that I love dearly. Has anybody ever stopped to wonder why he always wears pajamas in the Yard of Dreams? Anybody else? Or is it just something that we all think, well, that man is clearly wearing pajamas? Admittedly, the sort of shorty pajamas and short sleevey pajamas that, you know, your wife or girlfriend wears in the summer and which can be bought from Tesco, but they are pajamas. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, we all love him. Do we just ignore that? Or at some point, is anybody going to be brave enough to say, excuse me, Captain Mustard, why do you always wear pajamas at work? I mean, it's not like he lives in Swansea. Now, obviously, if you live in Swansea, then you live in pajamas. You go to the chip shop in pajamas. You go to the discount supermarket in pajamas. But he doesn't. He lives in Rochdale, where most people are reasonably well dressed, in my experience. And he always wears pajamas. I mean, okay, right. Back to the carabiner thing. Mustard, if you're going to insist on wearing pajamas all the time, right, wear a dressing gown as well. And your dressing gown will have a belt on it, and it will have two belt loops, one there, right? And then you could utilize the belt hoop to click your carabiner in. And then my carabiner idea would work. So there you go. You're welcome. In fact, as you are my best friend in the whole wide world, I will bring this to the Yard of Dreams for you to clip onto your dressing gown. Now that is friendship. unless anybody can come up with a better plan. Oh dear. Where am I? Cheeseburger says, abandoning the internal combustion engine now is a tragedy. The latest engines with a further 5 years development would be unbelievable. But they'd be poisoning the environment, dear boy. That's the point. Title, The Flowers Are Not Dead, They're Just Resting. Excellent. Trace agrees with Cheeseburger, which is never a good idea. Flowers in the rain, wear a donkey jacket. Oh, another good idea. I've screenshotted that. Bad Book says, as a kid staying at Gran's, she rented a VHS copy of Kramer versus Kramer, where Meryl Streep gets a rat out. I don't remember that bit. I remember Kramer versus Kramer. It was Dustman Hoffman, wasn't it? But I don't remember Meryl Streep getting her rat out. Another classic was Christine. She switched that off, unfortunately, and stuck to Dynasty after that. Trey says, I think the Hedgehog of Truth needs to leave home. He's clearly thieving all the keys. Coded lock, says Otter MG. No keys required. I did think about that. I did think he could fit combination locks and tell us all the combination so that when he forgot it, we can all tell him. I mean, the downside of that would be that we could all go and thieve anything we wanted from the yard, but, you know, that would be a small price to pay. Skick says, Boaty, are you staying on a bit longer tonight, as it's a Thursday? No, Skick, to be honest, I'm not. I'm a bit knackered. I've got loads of stuff to do. I'm hungry. So I'm going to see the comments out and then I'm going to bugger off. By the time you've done 4 live streams in a row, you kind of run out of puff a bit. And I've got, I've got a bit of a big day, man. I've prayed on my wine, obviously. Oh, tomorrow, lunch tomorrow. Oh, no, I've sorted lunch tomorrow, haven't I? It won't be the Savoy hunt. That'll be Saturday if it happens. Cheeseburger says that the hedgehog is a thief. Put him on the bonfire. Yes, the wicker hedgehog, Cheeseburger, says Grace. They're comfortable, says Mustard. What, your pajamas? I know they're comfortable. Their pajamas are designed to be comfortable, but they're not designed to be worn in a bloody car yard. Oh dear. There's a type of person, says Ross, that hooks their keys on their belt. Cheeseburger says, if you clip the keys on the belt by your crotch, you will likely be arrested. Pajamas, says Trace, somewhat incredulously. I've literally never looked at Mustard and thought he was wearing PJs. You have a look. You have a look, right? Whatever, summer, winter, he always wears pajamas. Now, in the summer, he wears those shorty pajamas that Mrs. Boaty used to wear, with the soft, yielding material that's cool in summer and look quite good on Mrs. Boaty. On Mustard, I'll be honest, they look kind of less good because you can clearly see his penis. And I really don't want to. I mean, you try not to see it. You try not to look. But, I mean, the bloody thing is there, isn't it? And, I don't think that's appropriate in many ways. A penis should be behind underpants and jeans. It shouldn't be. I mean, okay, when you're wearing pajamas at home, around your family, not the children, but certainly around your wife, fine, not a problem. The easy access might be appreciated by your good lady, but not in a car yard where members of the public are viewing. It's ugh. Good night, everyone. God bless you all, say Sophie. Good night, Sophie. Thank you so much for joining us, me, all of us, and I will look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Mustard says, I can bend and move around a lot. Jeans are too restrictive. Yes, but they're pajamas. That's not a justification. I mean, if you were called for jury duty and turned up in your pajamas saying, well, I can bend and move around a lot, I find jeans too restrictive, I think the judge would have something to say. It's just easy and comfy clothes, Boat, says Skick. Well, yes, but good night, everyone, says Fiesta Man 1990. Take care. Yeah, it is that time. We are all going to go now. So say your good night, darlings. Alan the Wicker Hedgehog. I have some of those already, says Mustard. What? Dressing gown, says Trace. Have I seriously missed Mustard standing about the Yard of Dreams wearing a dressing gown? Well, no, you haven't, Trace, but he should do. Because if he wore it, I mean, if you're going to wear pajamas, go the whole hog, wear the dressing gown as well. And then you can clip your carabiner with the keys of power onto the loop of your dressing gown. It makes total sense. California. Oh, sorry. Carabiner. Better than Vimto. Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Trace is having a laugh at Alan the Wicker Hedgehog. That could be the title stream, actually. Alan the Wicker Hedgehog. I like that. Ross says, right, thank you, Ross. It's not just me. Ross says, in some of Mustard's videos, he does a lot of walking to camera. Sometimes it's like he's swinging a ferret in his trackies. Yes, yes. Mustard, this is intervention, right? We can all see your penis. Now, some people might be very comfortable and even happy with that. Some of us find it quite frankly disturbing. Kindly get some more restrictive trousers. Look, your penis is on view to people in Australia who have families. This is not acceptable. God almighty, the BBC will be investigating him. T says bad books, hang them round your neck. John Moretti says Kramer versus Predator, Family Guy, brilliant. You'll never run out of puff, says Mustard. Oh God, is this a title suggestion? Mustard's trouser snake. How does this happen? How does this happen? I organise a perfectly pleasant, respectable live stream, and we end up discussing a elderly Northern's man trouser snake. And he said in his live stream this afternoon that I was older than him. I'm not. I am younger than Mustard by a considerable margin. A couple of months anyway. Ross says, remember the thing attached to keys that when you whistle it beeps. We need something modern connected to a phone app. Right, here we go. Steve Nespal says it's a suspicious bulge. Ross says it's definitely a member of the public, that's for sure. And Skick, cutting to the chase, says, yep, you can see Mustard's widge. I have noticed that. He must know. He must know that we can all clearly see his little chap. Oh, this one's held review. Trey says Mustard knows sex sells and wiggles eyebrows. Cheeseburger says, I'm starting a campaign. Mustard must be demonetized. Russell branded far less. Barry says, good night all, stay safe and have a good weekend. New video tomorrow. Excellent, look forward to that. Does he wear a cravat with his dressing gown? Asked Cheeseburger. Trace says, I'm screeching with laughter. Stop saying penis. My God. I can't hide it, says Mustard. Well, you could. You could, Mustard. Stop wearing pajamas in public, you pervert. Cheeseburger says, what are Mustard's politics? I bet he swings to the left. He swings both ways. That's the problem, Cheeseburger. Otter MG says, tape it to your knee, Mustard. Would you buy a car from this man? Asked Stephen Espel. Barry says, Mustard, do you enter three-legged races on your own? A type. I'm Jake the Peg with my extra leg. Yeah, that's going to be the Christmas single from Captain Mustard. A title from Trace. Mustard's too excited and he just can't hide it. Bad Book says, I thought Mustard was a swing voter. Neil, aka the Gibbinator, says, apparently his trouser snake has been compared to your foot. It's 12 inches. Mustard should be Rolf Harris and Jake the Peg. And Mustard says, I'm really worried about my videos now. And no, don't do Rolf. Mustard, everybody's seen it. You jigger about on your videos to the camera wearing pajamas. And, you know, you're clearly not, you're clearly reasonably well blessed. You can't take your eyes off the thing. And it's one thing on video, it's another thing in real life. I don't want to see that when you're making my cup of coffee. Buy some newer pants and tuck it underneath like the rest of us do. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm having this conversation. I had no idea. God. Oh, God. It's not just drag queens, Trace. We all tuck it underneath at times. It's to stop it causing a nuisance when we're in a situation. Oh, God. Oh, how do Thursdays end up like this? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, hello, Ben's here now. Mustard, you owe me a really good lunch because word is going to spread and there's going to be a load of perverts going all over your videos now looking for the swing footage. Oh, that's kind of you to say so, Skick. I have noticed your dick a few times, Mustard, but it doesn't matter. Say Skick. There you go. It's official. Skick has said it's official. Captain Mustard's dick doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. God. Oh, that should be the title of the live stream. I couldn't get away with it. But the title of tonight's live stream should be Captain Mustard's dick doesn't matter. Oh, God. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Oh. Oh, Neil, that is genius. I could possibly get away with that. Let's screenshot that. Title nomination. The Hairy Paddington's pottering stick doesn't matter. And Trey says, that's it, Neil. That is it. Neil, you are a genius. And you have named tonight's live stream. Tonight's live stream will go down in history as being the Hairy Paddington's pottering stick doesn't matter. I thought it might be just me. And I was kind of joking a bit when I said about the elephant in the room, but clearly it's not just me. We've all been traumatized by it. We need to set up some sort of private support group. Have you been traumatized by the Hairy Paddington's pottering stick? Call this free phone number now. You could be entitled to compensation. Remember, where there's trauma, there's a claim. Stop wearing pajamas. For God's sake. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, we need to buy him a cup. Oh. Oh, Trace, stop it. Oh, God above. I'm not going to do this because I couldn't cope with the trauma. But the first person who does a compilation video that just features Mustard's little chap swinging both ways in his pajamas is going to have a viral hit on their hands and possibly a very lucrative OnlyFans channel. If Mustard's got any sense, he'll do it himself. Mustard's gone quiet, says Otter MG. I hope he hasn't tripped over it. Cup, you wouldn't get one to fit. It'd be a small helmet for his helmet. Oh dear God. He needs a bucket, says Cheeseburger. Oh God. Right, I can't cope with any more of this. He's gone ass over helmet. He has gone quiet. He's probably checking his videos. Swing low. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, I'm actually hurting now. I want to finish this, but I don't want to stop these comments. Oh, God above. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, dear. I really don't want to stop this because we are on a roll, but I am going to stop before I get in trouble with the neighbours for laughing during the hours of God, the love sausage. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, that's it. I can't cope with any more of this. I can't cope with any more of this. Thank you so much for joining me, not just tonight, but throughout the week. And obviously, special thanks go to Mustard's third leg. One day, that thing is going to win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in a YouTube video. Cut. Finish. I can't cope with any more of this. Oh, God. You guys carry on. I'm gonna stop this. Thank you for your company all of this week. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everyone who has become a channel member or has been kind enough to gift channel memberships or done a super chat or anything like that. Thank you for watching the videos, the daily diaries, and just thank you for being there and just generally being wonderful and making my life a much more pleasant thing. Oh God, oh God, it's still going. Make it stop. Somebody make it stop. That is the last. Oh God Almighty. Oh God, they're still going. Oh dear. Right, that is it. That's it. I can't go. I just can't go. Thank you, everybody. You're upsetting the dogs, Mustard. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Oh. That's it. Darlings, thank you for just being wonderful. That's it for that's it for this week in terms of the what do I call these things? I can't think of anything now apart from bloody mustard savler. I need help. Oh yeah, that's it for Thursday Night Live and the end of this week's lives at things. It's going to be a really good weekend coming up with stuff happening. I'll try and do a live if I possibly can, whenever I can. And, I hope you all have a safe and peaceful night and the best day that you can tomorrow. And much love from me. And I look forward to a Paddington pajama. That's it. I'm going. I'll see you next time. Much love to you all.